Hello everyone, today we have these Christmas light bulbs. So I got these from a thrift store that says 50 cents as is. Looks like they marked it September 19th, 2024. It was marked to be sold for 50 cents. So we'll see here what we got. I got my testing equipment right here. And they also had one of these, believe it or not, in the store for $1. I remember these being worth like $30 to $50 at Walmart, like inside Walmart. I remember them being like super expensive when I was a kid. So let's get into here now. Look at that, they magically opened for us. No, just kidding. So I also have this other bag here I forgot to show, but you can see our bulb just fell out of here. It says as is as well. So we're going to go through this bag here first, since because it has some newer, looks like it has some newer stuff in here, what I think it is. So made in China, made specially for seasonal specialties electrics. Minnesota, it says. So it shows you how they come apart. So these must be super old, because I know today's bulb sockets don't look like that anymore. So let's see here. So we got 5 bulb replacements, 3.5 4 volts. So these must be watts, which is probably the same thing. Pre-tested, guaranteed to light. So these probably would still light. Look like they're pretty much new. I'd say these were probably manufactured maybe 30 years ago. I'd say maybe the 90s. So that's off over there. Looks like we've got here bulb sets here, blinker bulbs. Those are newer. So that's there. Looks like we got some more of these. Enchanted Forest, that would be Menards. So when did they put, usually Menards put, say, I can't pronounce it, but these are older. Well, these are much older because made in China by Continental Lighting. That's Houston, Texas. This must be from the 2000s, early 2000s, 90s. Could be from the 80s. Definitely for sure old, but they're not dangerous. They're not dangerous as the ones I usually use. When was the last time you saw GE safety fuses? I gotta say, I've never seen them. I've been just getting into the Christmas stuff, I should say, Christmas bulb stuff. I've been getting into it since my father, disappeared. So, yeah, we're not sure where he's at. He just disappeared one day. So it looks like these were originally 99 cents, fuse information. So these must be for the C7 and C9, but you can see there's one missing. So same thing I know, same thing with this one here. There's 2 missing, like somebody taped it shut after putting them back. Made in China, so for General Electric. So I haven't seen those in years. Probably never seen those before. So this one right here is the same thing as the other one. It doesn't have no dates on them nowhere. I'm going to say probably from the 90s. This one right here is the same type of packaging. This is probably here garbage, I'd say. We'll probably make a pile over here for garbage. And what do we got on here? Usually they have like a model number. Okay. Nothing really. So yeah, so there's probably a bunch more than I'm not seeing in here, but looks like these have been opened and resealed. I don't know. I could have lost $1 here. I don't know. Even if one of these bulbs turns on and runs, it's at least $1 I've made. The orange is in there. What do you got here? You got even some blue. It looks like some blue LEDs by the looks of things. So it looks like I didn't fare out very bad. So I rarely ever buy these because most of the time I have enough bulbs at home, but I ran into a problem a few days ago. I ran out of LED repair parts. So I thought to myself, I'm pretty bad about that. Usually I don't buy LEDs. I'm still used to using the C7s and C9s. So as you can see in here, we got some thicker bulbs, contractor size. So I got pretty much about a little bit of everything. And here's one of those open things for a tab for something. We'll put that over here in the garbage. And we'll start testing them. I'll just take one out, I guess, and we'll try it and see if it works. Got the handy dandy thing here, okay. Okay, so it looks like that one works. Okay, so that looks like a blinker bulb. We'll put it over there, way out of the way. The last packaging thing out of here. So it looks like we got ourselves quite a few, I'd say. And I also did notice that some of these aren't even connected to things. So this ought to be interesting to finally go through and see what we got. As you can see here, there's even an old timer one in there. Where'd it go? Here it is. Jeez, that must be old. I've never seen a bulb strand that has ever had this. It must be like ancient. And I'm going to say the first miniature lights came out in the 60s and 70s. They must have used these. And then I'm going to say probably by the 90s they probably went to a base like this. What we're used to seeing now, so somebody probably just bought all new stuff and they just got rid of all their old stuff. I actually have a set of new ones for this same style. I've never seen it before either. I don't even know if there's a way to test them because your tester here only is supposed to design like this. Yeah, there would be no way to test it. So I don't even know if that won't work. So you'd have to take it out of the thing there and plug it in. So here's all my bulbs. I got them out of my big bag here that I got from Eagles Beachwear. Okay, so we're looking here at, so this is the yellow bag that I have of mine. Here's the fuse bag. You can see I've obviously got a lot of fuses. And these bigger ones here are for the C7s and C9s. Many years ago, I had a strand of C7s, I think it was, that the fuse went out on. And I tried to go into the store to buy one of these, and I did not have the money. And I really needed one. So I thought to myself, I'll buy one next year, right? Well, I ended up throwing out the strand because I went in there next year, they didn't have them. I had to go all the way out to Menards to get them, to get this. Walmart stopped selling them the next year. So then I got the fuses in here too, so I got the light keeper ones from Walmart. The 3 amp. I got all different kinds in there. I've got no idea what size they are. See, like here's a really big one. So here's like a really big one right here. So these ones right here I got from Menards. I had to go get them because that one year I needed it, and I didn't have the money, so I went and bought them next year at Menards, and I ended up having to throw out the strand because I didn't have anything to use. So what? No. And then here's the blanker bulbs. Now these are so old. Look how old these are. They're 3-volt though. Look at this, they're so old. They sold them in Taiwan. And there's the orange. This is the purple. That's the clear. That's the green, the blue. So I have quite a few different colors. I have quite a collection. And then here's the bulbs of all the bases. The old flower ones that they used to have in Japan. Whatever I buy at the thrift stores, this is basically where. So I'll be testing them, and we'll see. At the end, I'll show you what we ended up getting for real results. And here's my bag here of spare parts that I got from newer bulbs. That's what they come with. And I remember showing you, this is what the Enchanted Forest looks like now. This is what the Enchanted Forest used to look like. And to tell you, yeah, it is Enchanted Forest. Because it's in cursive, it says forest. So that's how old that is. And by the way, Menards used to have their stuff made in USA down in Texas. Don't know why they don't do it anymore, but I thought that was a cool fact that I should add. So the people that are watching this are probably like, what type of bulb sets do these go to? Okay, I'm going to show you this. Okay, so this is Shop Go. You can see there, that's what it says, Shop Go. $4.49 originally. And this was a set that was sold. If I can unplug it. This set right here was sold. If it will focus, 1982. August of 1982, these were sold. I bought these maybe from a thrift store, I'd say many, many years ago. And another reason why I bought these is because I thought this was strange. It says, on here, it says, fuse plug, 125 volts. I don't see where the fuse is. There's nothing to move. There's nothing to... And there's nothing in between either. And if you look at the plug, the other side, there's nothing that comes apart. And this is, keep in mind, this is not plastic material. This is styrofoam and paper, actually cardboard. This is cardboard. And matters makes worth. I think this might be asbestos. But it doesn't look like it. If I flip it over, look at the back. I don't see any hairs. I wonder why people died so young back then in the 80s. Their stuff was so old. And everybody wants to go back to the 80s, and everybody says, oh, they had the best music, they had the best stuff. Well, look at the stuff that they had. It wasn't even safe for use. Obviously, this is right on there. Let's see on the back here where it says, safety fuse plug, built-in device protect against shorts and overloads. Okay, so where does it come from? And I did search this online. I could not find a recall for this. So, and it is made by Noma, so it must be good quality. Okay, it doesn't. It says do not connect more than 6 sets to one outlet. Burned up bulbs should replace severely. Do several burned up bulbs left in the set may cause the other bulbs to heat up and burn out. Okay, it doesn't say where the fuse is. It doesn't say where the fuse is. I don't know, I think that's kind of strange. You would install a fuse and a plug, but you have no way to get to the actual fuse. So what I'm thinking about doing is when this set dies, is I'll break apart the plug. I'll take a screwdriver and I'll pound at these little plastic marks here. And I'll pound to see what the inside, to see where the fuse is. I bet you this comes apart somehow. Not quite sure. And I did notice this. Now I'm looking at this closer. You can see like this looks like it kind of should be able to move. So I'm not sure if this moves or not. Or unless that's just for a grip. This is so old. And make matters worse is all the bulbs that you guys saw me with these bags. They're bulbs for this set. They're bulbs for this exact set. No wonder why they're not lighting up in the tester. Because they will only light up in here. And this set is so old, it's from the 80s. I bet you this was probably the reason why Shopko went out of business, is because nowadays you go into Walmart with bulb sets are what, $3.49. This is a 35 bulb set for $4.49. No wonder why they went out of business. They were overpriced and they were pricing themselves out of the market by $1. So I'd say like $1, so 1%. I'd say by 10% they were pricing themselves out of the market. It's nice, it's really bright and everything, but one thing they don't tell you is the fuse is not replaceable. So once the fuse in here and the plug dies, this is useless unless you tear apart the plug and get the fuse out. Another reason not to buy vintage Christmas lights. Well, these were not vintage when I bought these. They weren't considered vintage yet. If you look online, if you look on eBay, you'll see tons and tons of these Noma Christmas light sets that look like this. And they'll have the catalog number. This catalog number on them. You'll see tons of them selling for tons amount of money. Yeah, the people that are buying those are buying them to use. If they're like this and they have a built-in fuse where you can't remove it, I can feel them getting hot. Oh, definitely for sure getting hot. Yeah, they're definitely for sure cooking. So these are the ones that you would want to keep. As you can see, look at the dust. Look at the dust on these. Look at the dust on these. That's not dust from the styrofoam. That's dust from them sitting in here. They probably sat on a shelf for many, many years. They probably did. Somewhere. Somebody bought these and never used them. And if you look here closely at this bulb here, it lines up perfectly with that one. So these are newer replacement bulbs, or they could be older ones from the 70s, or they could be from the late 80s. They could be from the 80s. Yeah, when they said that they had miniature lights in the 80s, this is kind of what I was not expecting. I was expecting a modern plug like this, but with a removable plug, with a movable fuse. They probably didn't have that until the 90s. And this kind of drew me off from, this is the reason why I purchased them, is because it looked like they were newer modern bulbs. Because they had the more modern bases on them. Somebody must have bought these. Must have had these for years. Probably put modern bases on them so they could put them in modern sockets. And modern strands. That's probably what they were used for. So, I tested all the bulbs. This is all I've got out of this whole bag. That's out of all the colored ones. This is all there was that actually worked. So that was 50 cents. That's probably more than 50 cents of repair bulbs. Definitely for sure. But out of all the ones that were dead, this is all I had left that were dead. So, pretty good, I'd say. And I got all of these bases, so that's an awful lot of bases. Some of these bulbs didn't even have bases, so, and because they were older and they for this, I did look and I do have another set for these, for this style bulb. So, and I do remember I do have 2 sets of Sears sets that were from Sears, that were from the, I think, 1997, that used this style. So, they probably produced this for a little bit after, I'd say after the 80s. Not long after. So, that's good to know. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one. Bye. Super Satin Productions.